Today's video is going to be about SKILLZ. We've talked about SKILLZ now on the channel for a few weeks, talked about the potential upside that there was, and I'll share the link to that video so you can go on and check all about the price targets and where we see this stock potentially going. SKILLZ had their recent earnings. We talked about how we played the earnings. I left half out, and then on the next day on the earnings it pulled back, and that's when I went I loaded right up, guys, bought the dip, sold all my L.4 and focused all my attention onto SKILLZ, and that has proven to be very true. So we're going to have a look at the charts, bit of an update since then, and we're going to talk about some news. Let's go. Yeah.
Coincidence.
Yeah.
Coincidence.
Yeah.
Coincidence.
Something that happens by chance, I think not. What's the crack, everyone? Welcome back to Buy Wholesale. I hope, of course, you are all well. Today's video is SKILLZ. Let's just get looking straight into it. So to do this, we need to go back to the 4th of November. It was a different time. We had the big rise up to earnings. The way I try to play earnings, depending on the stock, it's always going to be different. But for this one, because I was relatively new to the stock, wasn't so sure. I had a substantial amount of money on. We had a lovely ride up by 25%. I just felt, I'll take profits. Take half off the table and we'll see what way it goes. And that proved to be shrewd. Saved myself a loss here, which is all in the previous video. But where we have bought was here, the dip. And good old fashioned, you buy the dip and you ride it. And where did I ride it to? Well, if I had took profits yesterday, you could have rid it up 25%. And that's in 3 trading days. So we'll get into that. The course is coming out soon about how to trade and stuff. But long story short is, we've been holding patiently. And yesterday we had a great day. The stock itself yesterday was up over 16% at one stage. It did finish up about 9%, as you can see here, 8.91%. In the pre-market, it looks like we're going up 1.3%. We're still not above the 9-day moving average, but we haven't closed fully below it. So if I was swing trading this, which is partly what I'm doing, I do feel like holding this long because there's so much upside, all the stuff we talked about in the other video. But initially, I'll be swinging in and out of this, and that's the disclaimer. You would have bought in here, guys, and you would have been riding this right up. Let's see. So if you were riding this up since the 14th of October, so you're talking 3 weeks, just over 3 weeks, you would have had 50.5% gains. And you would still be in this trade, not going to get out. We see these channels that we drew here, this triangle, rising triangle that we were on. And I did say in previous videos, I'm going to be waiting until I get to at least 14 before considering taking any profits. But that is all dependent on the charts. And I will try to keep you as best updated as I can. But for now, everything looks rosy. RSI is a bit overextended on the high side, but it's a nice incline. It did dip a bit, which is good. Brought it back to a more relaxed level. So we're still in the good area there. MACD crosses over, looking good. Nice wedge. Be a bit of a dip again on that sell buy. Looking good. If we pull up the 4-hour chart, we can see here just before the end, a buy symbol came in. Beautiful stuff, especially after that big rise. It did sell back, but still the general consensus says buy, and that's a candlestick above the 9-day moving average. MACD here looks to be crossing over a bit, but that again was because probably mostly the sell-off. I would anticipate that to turn around, especially if we're going to get a 1.3% rise on the bat today. It is early doors here though, that could change. Good bit of volume coming in on the back of the earnings. So long story short, we can see we've had long time ago, we had lovely highs of $45. Again, go in, check out the video of the price targets and get an understanding of that. Now, short interest is the major issue with the SKILLZ stock. It's part of the reason why I'm rolling the dice on this, but you have to be very careful. It's going to be volatile if you're getting into SKILLZ. It's definitely going to be volatile. You need to understand all this. Go in, check out the earnings video that I did. Again, share the link here for you. You talk about the risks that are with this stock. We do know that they're hemorrhaging money to a certain extent, but they've got a good balance, good debt situation going on, so they can ride out any potential storms, not making as much revenue as people would perhaps like, but it's a growth company. So when you consider all of that, I think the analyst price targets are very fair and reasonable. So you can see here, the short interest, 2.34 days to cover, and the dark pool short volume is 34.75% now, and the short volume is 20.35. That's very high, and that's probably why yesterday you've seen such a rise and such a pullback, because the bears and the bulls are fighting away on this one. But I think we have great potential to get a lot more out of this. So what way do I see it going? To be honest, right now, I wouldn't be fearful about opening a position on this. Yes, ideally, you want to be fully above the 9-day moving average, but that sometimes happens. We're still riding it. We're still riding it. The sell symbol has came in. We should maybe show, time to get out. We didn't fully close. The wee tip was just in there. So I'm still okay with that. And then obviously we had this big green candlestick. Today will be a big indicator of what way this stock could go. But you've seen my channels here. I think if it was the fallback, we would see lows of in and around 10.54. But I do anticipate $14. If anything changes, I'll let you know. But be careful when there's that much short interest and the bears are pounding. They will smell blood and they will jump on. And we seen Kathy Woods bought the dip. That was the confirmation that I really needed on the back of the earnings. She bought the dip, which she did with Teladoc, which we talked about on the channel. I'm in both of these stocks. Expect the volatility to be crazy at times, but really look how low this stock is. Really look how low this stock is. How low, much lower can it really go? We've got good support, we've got good channels here. I'm not worried about it, but you need to be prepared for volatility. We'll see what way it goes today. And if you just look at the news articles out there, you know, I'm not even going to read Motley Fool, it's a joke, but operating leverage remains elusive despite robust revenue growth, and momentum of SKILLZ stocks has faded. Oh, has it faded, Mr. Investor Place 2 weeks ago? Let's just check this out, for example. And he had to update it because he got the CEO wrong. So Chris Liu, let's see, from the 25th of October when you did this article, momentum's faded. Momentum's faded. Big Chris Liu, let's see, 25th of October. So he would have sold here, even though all indicators look good. Momentum faded. Let's see, just the 33% he would have missed out on. So momentum faded. All I know is if I was to get 33% over a 2 week period, I am delighted. So Chris, you can lick the back of them, son. The way I look at it is all this, it's just bears winning their story. Don't believe all the crap out there. Do your due diligence, trust in the process, trust the analyst, trust that there is plenty of upside here. Whatever short-term volatility, I'm buying the dips because this, at these prices, is a bargain, and whatever length of time, there's no guarantees in this game. Looking at this, you could go, oh, within a week we'll be at 14, in a few days we'll be at 14, today we could be at 14. It could also dip down, we have no guarantees, but it looks to be in a nice incline, it looks good to me. So I'm in, buying dips, riding this right up. We'll do a recheck at 14, whenever that may come. And if you can even see here, look at these levels, 22, woohoo, baby. I'll keep you posted. If you find these videos informative, please like, subscribe, help me grow the channel. I really do appreciate everybody for that. If you want to buy me a coffee, feel free to do so. Yesterday was a great day. We got a good lot of coffees bought. We had Ross J, great videos. I read out him yesterday. I followed you for a while, and many of your suggestions have led to gains. That was from James Reed. Thank you yesterday again. James Norcott, thanks for the information and useful videos. No worries, JMO. Thank you very much. And someone else, literally called someone, wants to be mysterious. I like that. Thanks for another update, Damien. Really appreciate your time and the information you provide. Enjoy, and I will enjoy. Thank you very much. And anybody else that wants to support the channel, feel free to jump on and buy me a coffee. I appreciate that. I love my coffee. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace. Yeah. Coincidence. Yeah.